What do you think, man? There's a lot of rumors to the Mets. There's a lot of rumors to the Red Sox. Maybe the Yankees. What do you think? Where do you think he signs, man? It sounds like this is the week.
I feel like he might just drag it out to the winter meetings just to have like one final meet with everybody and make his decision from there. Because everyone's been coming to him, and now out of respect, I guess, quote unquote, he'll just go to them for the winter meetings. It's still in December, right? They didn't push it back.
Yeah, I think next week.
Yeah, exactly. We're literally a week out at the time of this recording from the winter meetings. There is no indication of where he might go, but right now the speculation, the rumor mill, and this person who apparently predicted LeBron James leaving and going, and some other
shit from like 12 years ago. Like, all right.
Yeah, or predicted, or just he got the scoop right away of like when this stuff was going to go down. So right now the rumor is, and I'm sure, like, as you saw and sent it to me, and I had seen it earlier, is that Juan Soto is supposed to become a Met, but
imminent, according to this fucking nobody, person I've literally never heard of before.
Right.
My favorite part of the off season is when these people I've never heard of for some reason have the scoop on the biggest free agent signing.
Dude, did you see what that one dude who's like, oh, he confirmed, like, he signed for the Red Sox, and then like a guy like a reporter, an actual writer, threw shade at them, and then they proceeded to like, you missed out on the scoop. Sounds like you're just butthurt. I'm like, what? Like, is this a burner account? Is this like, are you fucking kidding me? This isn't journalism.
Jeff Passan threw cold water on some guy in Boston who's like, Soto to the Red Sox is gonna get announced any day now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, buddy.
Week later.
Yeah, we've reached that point where it's just a lot of engagement farming. You go on Twitter, any post that talks about Juan Soto has an automatic like 10, 20,000 views. And objectively, Steve Cohen has the most money. To go to the Mets. If I wasn't a Mets fan, I would be saying I think he would go to the Mets because they just have more money than everyone else. I think, what's the point of having more money than everyone else if you're not going to sign Juan Soto?
Yeah.
A guy that allegedly wants to stay on the East Coast. And if that's true, like Ohtani, who wanted to go, to California or wanted to stay in California, you have more money than all the other East Coast teams. There's no reason you cannot sign this guy. Steve Cohen's also talked a lot about the Mets, not being the little brother anymore, wanting to make the Mets like a hot destination. What better way to do that than to take Juan Soto from the Yankees and force them to watch him win across town?
Yeah, I mean that's a nice thought too, and this offseason has been pretty slow up until what was it, last week when Blake Snell signed?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we were attached to him. We're pretty much, if you're a free agent, chances are we're attached to you, we're interested, and we want you.
Other agents are going to mention the Mets just because they have the most money, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like you said, like if you're an outsider looking in, you go to the Mets. If you're just a casual and you don't know, you want to know who the richest owner is in baseball, just type in who the richest owner in baseball is, and Steve Cohen's gonna pop up. So then you go with that. It's quite interesting.
If I was the Yankees, I feel like I would much rather he go to the Mets than the Blue Jays or the Red Sox, because you'd have to play them 13 times a year. Like, I don't know why the fuck you'd want to face him that many times.
We faced him and he killed us.
Right. Like, as a Mets fan, I wanted Bryce Harper to go to any other division than the NL East. I would have much rather he went to the Yankees. And I hate the Yankees. So if you're a Yankee fan and you're like dreading the possibility that he goes to the Mets, like, that would be the best possible outcome outside of him.
Right.
Which I've already said, like, if I were the Yankees, if the Juan Soto bidding is going to, $50 million a year, I just wouldn't bring him back, because you didn't win with him, and now you're gonna have to pay him more to bring back the same team that just lost.
Also, the fact that you would have to pay him more than your captain.
Yeah. Yeah. Which they already last year, they didn't want to pay Yamamoto more than Garrett Cole. The Yankees do have this weird thing about, like, I guess, like, kind of respectable, but also, like, salaries are supposed to go up. So that's kind of like salary oppression. I don't know. It's a weird system, but where do you think he ends up, man? Objectively, if you're looking at, whatever, Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays, Mets, those have been the main.
I mean, technically, he could go to the Dodgers, which is absurd.
He could. I don't know if the Dodgers would want to tie up that much money in him when they could go out and get
they're just gonna defer it, and they're gonna keep getting away with this shit. If we do that, if the moment it comes out we're trying to defer money, everyone's gonna come attack Steve Cohen and the Mets.
I don't want to hear shit.
No, they will. They will. They're gonna complain as soon. It's like, oh, he shouldn't be allowed to do that because he's rich. I'm like, so what? Why are the Dodgers allowed to do this? It's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen.
They deferred $60 million of Blake Snell's contract. That is 1/3 of his contract. They deferred a third of his contract.
The Teoscar Hernandez defer? He also got deferred money. I didn't know that.
He got deferred money.
So like the first, yeah.
What's the deal? What do they defer?
They deferred it. And someone broke it down. The contract is broken up. He'll be getting paid for like the next 5 or 10 years. Something stupid. It was crazy. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Is Bobby Bonilla like the secret behind the scenes agent for all these guys? Like,
I hope so.
I saw some statistic that was like the Dodgers have like over $1 billion in deferred money that they have to pay out now. Yeah, I mean, I'm very much one of those like, oh, the owners should spend money if you want to like have a successful team. At the same time, I don't know who the fuck outside of the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees is able to defer $1 billion in contracts. That is insane.
I found it. Teoscar, $23.5 million on 24 million on his 1-year deal with the Dodgers, with $8.5 million deferred from 2030 to 2039. So for the next 9 years, from 2030 to 2039, he's gonna get that money.
The fuck would he? Who's advising these guys to take these non-interest rate deferrals? That makes literally no sense. The $9 million you get that starts 6 years from now will be worth way less. Like, what is? I don't understand at all. Ohtani, I get it because he's fucking a billionaire anyway. I would understand.
I don't know. There must be like some other compensation we just don't know about. I'm sure like they're getting cars and shit.
Something.
Rolexes.
I don't know. I feel like as a long-suffering Mets fan, we have reached the part of this where we are now rumored in the driver's seat, and then on Thursday he signs with the Yankees. That's where I think we've, because I've been scarred before. Yeah. I remember when Manny Ramirez was locked in signing
for a trade.
The Mets. Oh. Yeah, I remember when A-Rod was coming to the Mets. So we've been here before. Different ownership, So we want, but if you really want to, I guess, try to remove some of the remaining stink that is on the Mets, there's still going to be some, even if the Mets get Juan Soto, there still always will be a little bit of the Mets stink until they win a World Series.
Yeah,
this is a good way to do it. Signing Juan Soto is probably the most immediate shift you could make.
Yeah,
you'd stick it to the Yankees. You would effectively weaken the best team in the American League. You would strip away their second best hitter.
Yeah.
Weaken the whole American League pretty much by taking him out. And you'd give yourself the best chance to beat the Dodgers, who really look invincible at this point, unless everybody in their rotation gets hurt again. It just doesn't seem likely, but I think at this point, if you're Steve Cohen, you got to be looking at the Dodgers going like, this is the only way to even stay remotely like potentially competitive with that team.
Yeah.
You don't get him. Not that I don't have faith in David Stearns, but it's like, dude, I mean, they're getting Blake Snell, we're getting Frankie Montas. Like we're not quite operating on that level yet.
Yeah.
That's gonna take. It took them a while to get there, so it's gonna take the Mets a while to get there. But if you don't get Soto, then it does kind of feel like, well, why bother trying to sign Corbin Burns? Why bother trying to sign, I don't know, Santander? Like, just put together another team of ragtag journey
deals.
Find magic, because like you're probably not going to beat the Dodgers, so why dump a bunch of money in?
That or just like invest in the prospects you have, call them up, let them fail, let them succeed.
Got a good farm. That's got a good farm. It does feel like, I think the Soto thing to me feels a little bit like Yamamoto last year, where it's like, I don't think they're going to take this $700 million and spend it somewhere else this year. I think they would just be like, well, that was our guy. We didn't get him. I guess we'll just wait for, I don't know, fucking when's Yordan Alvarez a free agent? Like, when's the next guy? Who's up next? Because I mean, you could definitely split it up. You could go out and get Santander. You could get Corbin Burns. You could get Max Fried. You could get Teoscar Hernandez. Like, you could sign all those guys for $700 million. But at the same time, it's like, do you think, like, is that team beating the Dodgers? Because Soto's a long-term thing. He's like, you're thinking, if on the team for the next 8 years, we're going to be really good.
Yeah,
I don't know. Corbin Burns, 8 years from now, is he going to be that good? Teoscar, he's a 1 to 2 year contract these days.
I wouldn't give Corbin Burns 8 years. He's 30 years old, right?
What? Younger than Snell. That's what he's going to want. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
You think, okay, aside from the team he goes to, what do you think the final number is? Do you think he gets 700?
I think he gets close to it. I don't think anyone's that crazy to give him $700 million. If it's maybe the Dodgers.
I mean, there's one guy who's crazy enough to do it.
It is Steve Cohen, but I don't think
has the most money.
Yeah, I don't think he's worth even $600 million, but that's just
worth it. Nobody's worth it.
Yeah, nobody's worth it.
Ohtani's the only one because he's such a marketing unicorn.
Yeah, he literally has a country in the palm of your hand. Like, the ratings are guaranteed to go up, and that's what they showed with the Dodgers.
Yeah, he is a billionaire.
Yeah,
he's a billionaire right now.
Somehow, it's just crazy. I mean, Juan Soto is a very popular Dominican player. He's a very popular baseball player. Extremely. So there is a marketing tool there, and like, New York City is New York City. Yeah, it's not the Bronx. The Bronx is a heavily Latin, Hispanic population. Yeah. And it's also the Bronx is heavily populated with the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans who can come to love Juan Soto, but also you can do that. Y'all can do that in Queens. You might bring the fan base over. I feel like there was definitely a lot of love for Latin players, especially during the Mets 2000s eras with Jose Reyes and Delgado.
Beltran, come on.
Beltran, Yeah. So like, bring in these superstars. Like maybe Teoscar Hernandez has a nice fan base. Sure, bring him on. We need a DH. So I don't know. There's a lot of upside. But I think to answer the question, I guess I think he'll get close to 700, but I don't think he'll get to 700 million.
Okay, I think that Scott Boras right now is like first one to go to 700 wins.
Oh my God. I hate that man. I don't want that man to get any more credit than he deserves.
Because of the way Ohtani's contract breaks down with like present day value, if Juan Soto got $650 million for 14 years, he would break Ohtani's average annual value adjusted, which is $46 million. Soto would get 46.4. Technically breaking the record for highest annual salary. If he wants to eclipse the 700 million total, which I think like Juan Soto is probably, at least for the foreseeable future, the only player that has a chance to do it, which I think Scott Boras is very aware of. I think he wants to get to that. I think if the Mets or the Yankees or anyone goes to like 15 for 701, kind of like how Lindor got 341 because Tatis got 340.
Mm-hmm.
I think whoever goes there is I forget who it was, but somebody said like whatever team is the most desperate will get Juan Soto, which I think is probably true. And like I think that David Stearns is not desperate because I think he's shown that he can build teams without mega stars.
Right.
But I think Steve Cohen is a little desperate. I think he's like a little. He is a Mets fan. Right. It's just different than these other teams that are part of this. It's like there's only one team where the guy is using monopoly money and grew up a Mets fan. He has seen all the stuff that we have watched. We've had our hearts ripped out.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen all of it.
Yeah.
And he has a chance to really take a big swing. And I can't see when the next opportunity is. And Steve Cohen's in his 60s. Like, he's not super old, but he's not super young. This guy's not in his 40s. Like, if Steve Cohen and David Stearns are evaluating talent and they see some potential in the next 6 years, some other hot shot comes up and deserves $600 million, maybe they pass. Maybe they go, you know what? This is not the only opportunity. But can't take that money with you.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm Steve Cohen, it's kind of like, yeah, 700. I don't care. What's the difference? Like, my kids are probably not going to want to run the team. Like, doesn't happen that often where the owner's kids take over. So, and even if it does happen, it's like, look at Hal Steinbrenner. He hates the Yankees. He doesn't want to do that job.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that in this scenario, the only other team I think is actually desperate is the Red Sox. Like, I think they are genuinely desperate to like get out of this little weird middling purgatory they've been in since they traded Mookie, where it's like they are probably tired of hearing about how they blew that trade and signing Juan Soto. As a Mets fan, that'd be hilarious. Seeing the Yankees have to face Juan Soto for the next 14 years, him going into the Hall of Fame with the Red Sox hat on.
Yeah.
Just fucking kill the Yankees.
Would it kill you though if Pete wound up signing with the Yankees?
That would make me sad, but it would make sense. Although it would make a lot more sense if the Yankees traded for Bellinger. It's because he's a lefty. And he plays better defense at first base than Pete Alonso could ever dream of playing.
Damn.
But it would be, honestly, though, I think that I'd feel sad about Pete leaving no matter where he went. Like, if he signed a 10-year contract with the Cincinnati Reds, I'd be like, damn. I'm not on the Mets anymore. Like, because I think as a kid, I hated the Yankees. I don't hate the Yankees that much anymore. There'd still be a part of me that's like, hey, he plays in New York. I'll still get to watch him. Like, he doesn't play in California. I'm not fucking staying up every night to watch Pete Alonso. But, like, I don't know. I think also that's very much reliant on, like, okay, so is this a scenario where the Mets don't get Juan Soto and Pete Alonso leaves? Or did they get Juan Soto and then it's like, well, that softens the blow, If the Yankees want to get petty and give Pete Alonso $300 million because we took their boy, shit happens. Steve Cohen has enough money to sign both, so it's really bad how stupid he wants to get, but it's going to be interesting, man. It's supposed to happen this week.
Yeah.
This week.
This could be our Johan moment.
Yeah, this would be a pretty big deal if he went to the Mets. Literally nothing would change if he went to the Yankees. He was just on the Yankees. He just finished getting embarrassed in the World Series. And if he went to the Red Sox, that would be, or the Blue Jays, although the Blue Jays are just kind of a boring team. That would definitely revitalize the Yankee-Red Sox like beef. That would wake it up a little bit. Soto versus Judge. Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be Soto versus Judge regardless. If he leaves.
It's true. Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I feel like objectively again, and I watch Yankee games, I watch Mets games. The Mets are a more fun, like, experience. Like, they just, The team feels looser. Everybody looks like they're just having more fun. The Mets are throwing fucking dance party concerts after the games with Jose Iglesias. And like the Mets they just have a little more juice to them. The Yankees are very like buttoned up and I don't know, that doesn't. Soto's 26. You know?
Yeah.
It's the party. He wants to party with Candelita. He wants to party with a Latin pop star.
Well, we have to bring him back too.
I know. Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Maybe we told him we would sign Iglesias. Yeah. Well, we're gonna get news probably this week. I guess. I don't know.
Like, I'm hitting refresh just in case, because I feel like it's something stupid enough to happen. Like it would happen.
The disappointment though is that we've reached that point now where everyone's it's all anyone's gonna be tweeting about. Or posting about anywhere. It's like, oh, sources rumbling. Soto's he's gonna do that.
Because I think he's out in LA because of when he was with the Padres, right? I think that's where his home is.
Yeah.
So,
which is so funny when like all you hear about this guy, he wants to stay on the East Coast so he could be in the Dominican Republic. I'm like, why isn't he in the Dominican Republic right now?
Listen. After the game's over, if you're off the next day, go to DR.
Right,
fucking the airport's right there.
Private
JFK's
jet,
right there.
Steve Cohen's private jet right to DR, right back in time for the game. Yeah, you want to go to DR in the afternoon, come back for the 7 p.m. game? No problem.
Yo, that'd be dope. Not gonna lie, that's fucking dope. Just wake up in DR and like, all right, gotta go to work, fly out.
Gotta be at the ballpark in a bit.
Smack 4 home runs. Go back home the next day.
As a Mets fan, I really hope he signs with the Mets.
Yeah.
But I've been brought up to expect
disappointment.
Punch. Yeah, exactly. So, and there are a lot of good free agents this year. So, if the Mets for some reason do decide to take that money and put it elsewhere, there are a lot of places they could put it.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't want Corbin Burnes for 8 years, but like 5 to 6 years. Yeah.
At a higher rate, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Give him a few $1 million more than Blake Snell. They both won 2 Cy Youngs. Like they're pretty similar pitchers.
Yeah.
But
yeah, just younger. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, after he signs, we get a lot more action. Other teams start to make their moves because I hate fucking waiting till like February for all this shit to happen.
Seriously.
So yeah, we shall see.
We shall see.
On Soto watch. All right, that's all we got for you guys. Hopefully, I'm able to post this before Soto makes a decision.
For real.
Conversation isn't irrelevant.
Tomorrow.